beginning. Many of us have had that translated, Our Father who art in heaven. And I think what Jesus was trying to describe for us was this intimate relationship that we are called to have with Abba, Daddy, God, the one who is creator of all things. And sometimes it's overwhelming for us to think about this huge creation and this huge creator that we have come to worship this morning. It's difficult sometimes to think about the vastness of God. That's one of the things I love about Jesus, is that God gives us this Jesus who is here on earth. It's almost like that tangible expression of who God is in full humanity and in full divinity. What a wonderful way to be able to see Jesus and to know that this image of Jesus, the way that he lived out, is the way that God is with us. Jesus, our creator, the one who is above all things. You know, above my desk, if any of you have been into my office, and I don't know, some people say if you've been called to the pastor's office, it's not a good thing. But, anyone who's been into my office, I have this huge, huge banner. It was given to me by a member of the congregation. And on that picture, I don't know if I call it a picture, it's really a poster. And on that poster are all the names that Jesus gave to God. And it always amazes me, because so many of us get stuck on the Our Father. So many of us get stuck on just that patriarchal, that male image of God. And yet the reality is the scriptures are full of images of God. You know, in the Old Testament, we get the wonderful image of God as a mother hen who calls her chicks towards her, and the wonderful image of being able to care for those chicks. If anyone's ever seen a hen caring for her children, it's a wonderful image of God as a mother hen. I know sometimes I need that image of God. A God who's going to sweep me up and just care for me in the times of need. I'm sure many of us have felt that need of that caring God that's perhaps beyond the image of our Father, but is a mother hen who picks us up. On the poster that I have in my office, it talks about how Jesus sees God and how people referred to Jesus. They referred to him as the child of humanity. They referred to him as the heir of God. They referred to him in so many different ways that we get so hung up, I think, on just one image of God. I'm so delighted that in our congregation we get to use different images for God over and over again. There's a wonderful hymn that we rewrote as our denomination. It's to the tune of Stand Up for Jesus. And the opening lines is, Our God is like an eagle. And what a wonderful image of a God the God who's the mother hen who picks us up, and the God who is an eagle who swoops over us and wants only the very best for us. Now, I don't think that's the eagle that wants to come down and claw us and pick us up and eat us. But wonderful that there is a God who sweeps over the hills and watches over us and has our very best interests at heart. Our Creator. A wonderful image for us this morning to be able to observe and to know our God as a creator that knew you and knew me at the very beginning of all time. Isn't it the psalmist who wrote that you knew me even before I was born? You knit me together in my mother's womb. And you know, and you have counted the hairs that are upon our head. I always find that a very, very funny image, especially for those of us who are growing older and losing our hair. It's almost like God is being able to count us much, much quicker because of the less hair that we have on our heads. But that's the divine image of God that we are given this morning. When we talk about our Creator, we're not talking about a God who is standing up on a cloud and wearing the big white robe and has a rod in God's hand who's ready to bash us over the head. It's not a God who stands there with the book waiting for us to do something wrong so that God can write that in the book and then call us to account for it on Judgment Day. That's not the image that God gives to us. It's not the image that Jesus reveals to us. The image of our Creator that Jesus reveals to us is a loving parent, is someone who cares for us, someone who has our best interests at heart. And I don't know about you, but I'm sure that there have been times in your life and there are times in my life where I need someone in my life that has my best interests at heart. Because sometimes I don't have the best interests for myself. Sometimes I can be really down on myself that I don't have the best interests, or we can begin that series of destruction in our lives. I know, certainly talking to folks who are in 12-step programs, that often they have not made the best decisions in their lives. And they're having the care of a God who is really looking out for them. A God who really wants the very best for them. That they can believe in that God when they can't believe in themselves. Ever any one of us had that experience when we've had to rely on someone else to believe in us because we've not had the grace to believe in ourselves? Our Creator. That's the image of God that we have this morning. A Creator who does believe in us. A Creator who did make us at the very beginning. A Creator that is continuing to create this world. But the image that Jesus gives to us is not just a Creator who's doing everything for us. The image that Jesus gives us is a Creator who is depending on us to be in relationship and to be a co-creator with God. That you and I, as we embrace this image of Creator, this one who is with us, this God who is with us, is inviting you and I to take responsibility for our lives. And to take responsibility in such a way that we are co-creating with God. Co-creating this new heaven and this new earth. Co-creating so that the world can continue to become a better place.